XRP is making its climb back to all-time highs as volume is picking up over $14 billion in the last 24 hours, exchanging the hands of traders. And also, the breaking news coming in from Coinbase upgrading XRP's rank to higher than Ethereum and Bitcoin alike from a buyer's perspective. Now, remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm to show it to more people, and also consider subscribing to the channel. XRP Army, we have a lot to talk about today. The market is rebounding nicely on this very Thursday. Before market closes, looks like everything is coming together nicely. I love seeing that Ethereum's up about 5% in the last 24 hours, but XRP up 4.3%, with volume surpassing 12 billion, actually 14 billion over the last day. We bottomed at $2.99, right around $3, building a higher low than previously. But there's a lot of things that we need to pay attention to as to why XRP is surging and why the climb to $7 to $10 next week is on the table. And of course, you guys know me, I believe that $1,000 XRP is on the table long term as we become the SWIFT system of the world. Now, let's go ahead and dive in to look at overall market. So you guys can see Bitcoin is holding above 118, 119. Absolutely amazing seeing its strength. Ethereum up about 5% and XRP, the third biggest cryptocurrency in the market's up 4% on the day after a red day yesterday. I talked about it yesterday. People were selling. They're trying to fudge you. They're trying to scare you out of your positions. But you need to understand what is actually happening with XRP, Ripple Labs, and why we are still continuously becoming more and more bullish each and every day. This is what's so remarkable, guys. Breaking news. XRP surpasses Bitcoin and Ethereum in Coinbase buyer ranking post the SEC legal clarity. XRP surges to the top Coinbase buyer ranking with 101,000 participants, 101,000 people on Coinbase, outpacing Bitcoin and Ethereum amid renewed retail demand and price recovery above $3.20. The SEC's July 2025 legal resolution with Ripple removed institutional barriers and potentially enabling ETF applications and boosting market confidence in XRP's legitimacy. Technical momentum saw XRP hit $3.65, a 7-year all-time high. And it also gained traction in real-world use case, including a $130 million Brazil credit breakthrough that queued tokenized finance projects. Retail diversification and regulatory clarity position XRP to challenge established assets, though sustained momentum depends on liquidity maintenance and expanded utility beyond speculation. From a technical standpoint, guys, XRP is preparing to shock the world. I need people to understand that the reason that I'm so bullish on XRP is not the fact that it's only a top 3 crypto. It has a lot to catch up on BTC because remember, Bitcoin is twice its all-time high from 2021. XRP has not even entered price discovery yet, as it's just come back to where it once upon a time was. So from here, a 5, 10, 50x potential is still on the table between now and end of year and going into 2026. In addition, XRP completes a triple tap pattern price surge 90% in the last 30 days. For those of you that don't have the time for me to go through a full article, I'll highlight the key points here. Technical analysis suggests XRP could surge to $10 to $30 long term. This is actually more midterm, not even long term, just a multi-month potential high of $30, supported by the Elliott wave theory and institutional ETF interest. Recent 90% 30-day surge to $3.24 contrasts with short-term volatility, though analysts view pullbacks as healthy corrections. The key risks include sustained weakness below $3.20 and the broader crypto market turbulence, but buyers remain in control above $3.10. All I can say is, as long as Bitcoin can stay above 115K, it's going to allow the fuel and liquidity to enter into the altcoin market that's going to push us to new all-time highs across all altcoins and alternative assets within the market. So right now, what we need to pay attention to is what happens when Ethereum breaks its 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year resistance. So right now for ETH, we know we've been stuck. We never got to go back to all-time high of 2021, but have been stuck right around the $4,000 mark. Once we can break above that, then we can enter into price discovery for XRP and many other cryptocurrencies. Ripple XRP has met its resistance at $3.67, 65 cents. And now we're expecting a new all-time high. So with that being said, you need to make sure you're doubling down and focusing in on what XRP has the ability to do. Understand that we are ranked 1 right now on Coinbase in terms of retail buyer interest. We have surpassed Bitcoin. We have surpassed Ethereum. When the liquidity unlocks, and that is quantitative easing being announced by the Federal Reserve, where now retail and institutional demand goes to all-time high for risk on assets like crypto, XRP goes to a new all-time high, and it's going to go to where people are not expecting. Don't think $5 or $10. Think even further, think even higher, and remain optimistic and bullish. Cautiously optimistic, of course, because black swans can end the party early. One other thing that I think a lot of people are not looking at is when it comes to Ripple Labs or XRP, you got to make sure you also look at what else out there is also backed by Ripple Labs that could potentially fly when XRP performs well. One of the things I want to make sure is on your radar, guys, is Epic Chain. I know you probably have never even heard of it. Maybe some of you actually have if you're someone that's very tapped into the space, but Epic Chain has been performing very, very well. Up 146% in the last month at a $64 million market cap with over $55 million of trade volume. But it's still what's considered a small cap, maybe low mid cap cryptocurrency backed by Ripple Labs. It's obviously available on any major exchange, Binance, Coinbase, OKX, which of course is one of the things you need to see first, but also pay attention to some of the hidden things about Epic Chain that makes it such an attractive crypto asset under the real world asset category. Number 1, its current valuation at 65 million, I think puts it at a very remarkable price to get in before it goes to the multi-hundreds, maybe even multi-billion-dollar market cap. So the upside is still there. And they're doing this $1 million worth of Epic buyback, a fresh wave of momentum ecosystem ignition program. Now, one of the things I do is always sleuth around socials. Who is following Epic Chain? Followers, you know, because I'm pretty tapped in on Twitter. I looked through Virtual Bacon, a fellow YouTuber, someone that I really do appreciate his content around. But if you scroll down and look through some of the other individuals following this channel, you have Altcoin Daily, the second biggest crypto channel, if not the biggest. You have some Polygon Labs, some big exchanges that we've already seen time and time again. But if you keep scrolling, Mr. Beast, guys, Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber in the world, is also backing Epic Chain. It's one of the cryptocurrencies and one of the crypto platforms as a layer 2 solution on Ethereum that's being backed by Mr. Beast, the only cryptocurrency that is backed by Mr. Beast. And in addition, you guys can see they are backed by Ripple Labs. They have a Ripple Labs investment, and you can see that on their bio. So I'll have a link down below for you guys to look at Epic Chain. Thank you so much for Epic Chain for partnering with the channel on this piece. But I really do think, guys, it's one that you should consider looking into and potentially getting some exposure onto for your portfolio. Look at what they're doing, do your full research. And the link down below will give you this site here where you can read about what they're doing with real world assets as BlackRock is expecting RWAs to take over the market significantly. And I'm talking to capture a lot of the crypto market share by tokenizing real world assets. It's EVM compatible layer 2 on Optimism. Epic Chain transforms real world assets and global franchises into blockchain native experiences. One of the other things you can think about from a valuation perspective, it's listed on Binance Exchange. It's backed by Ripple, listed on Binance and Coinbase, the 2 biggest exchanges in the world. On top of that, the next biggest, this is the smallest RWA asset on Binance. The next one forward, or the next one above it, is Ondo, O-N-D-O, which has over a $750 million market cap. So if you just look at where Epic Chain is today, or ticker symbol EPIC, we're talking about 10, 15, 20x potential for it to just go into the ranks of being still below the highest market cap RWA asset on Binance's exchange. This is one of the micro caps from that perspective on a CEX that you all should really look at and make sure you're diversifying your portfolio regardless. If Epic Chain makes sense for you, you do your research, you learn more about what they're doing, why they're partnering with people like and being backed by Mr. Beast, Gary V, by the way, one of the biggest influencers in the world as well. They utilize their technology for their own businesses, which is pretty remarkable. Fast transactions, of course, EVM compatible, low gas fees, all the things that you really want to see. So again, if you're following me, you're into XRP, you're interested in Ripple Labs investments and subsidiaries or things that they have put money into, or at least looking into, like Epic Chain, then consider doing your research down in the description below. I appreciate you guys' support. Let's see how high XRP can go. I really do believe we break out of this current resistance that we're in, the slump that we saw. Dips are for buying, never for selling. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, as always, everybody, keep investing. Peace.